On today's episode, we are going to pull back the curtain on the truth about Zillow. Now, we'll cover what Zillow does to get it right, but we're also going to share some pitfalls and why partnering with a local agent is going to be your best bet for success.
Welcome back to the Happy House Hacking Podcast, the podcast designed to help you navigate the path to happy home ownership. We are your hosts, Owen and Camille Schwegerly, and we are realtors, investors, and happy house hackers. And on today's episode, we are going to be pulling back the curtain on Zillow and talking about what really is going on when you're on their platform.
Everyone knows Zillow, right? We're always searching Zillow. I mean, I even use it every once in a while. If I'm in a pickle or I'm in a market that I'm unfamiliar with and I want to get a sense of homes in the area that I'm traveling to. So Zillow is everywhere. It's top of mind for real estate. However, it's really important to distinguish that Zillow is not a real estate company. It's a tech company. And that's where we see deficiencies.
Yeah. So I think back to when I first started getting interested in real estate and I was shopping. I went on Zillow. That was the place to go. And I started looking at listings, looking at homes, and I'm like, ooh, I want to learn more about this. And I reached out to the realtor on the platform. And turns out the person I'm connected with wasn't even the listing agent. And then I end up getting passed to like 2 or 3 different agents, and now they're calling me, asking me all these questions, and then I'm in their follow-up systems and I'm getting all these emails and I'm like, who are these people? They weren't even the listing agent they didn't even know about the house I was inquiring about.
And now being on the other side, we know that a bunch of realtors, not us, but a bunch of them pay to be featured on that website in order to get leads. So those are the people you cost probably $10 to $15.
Oh yeah, more than that now. Oh man. So that's the key is the accuracy of the information isn't going to always be there for the consumer. You don't really know what you're going to get. So when you're looking at Zillow online, it's a good place to start your search. You can really start to feel the market and kind of gauge what's available, what's on the market. However, there's some risks of using just Zillow alone on this journey.
Oh, yeah. The unfortunate reality is Zillow is not nearly as up to date as what your real estate agent can connect you with through their local MLS. So you might spend time chasing listings on Zillow, yet it might have already sold and the data just wasn't updated yet in time. Or maybe the data was incorrect regarding the showing availability, where it said it had showing times available and it actually doesn't. So it's really important that you're not working independently when it comes to buying or selling, that you're working with a local team so that way you get updated and accurate information.
Yeah, it's so true. I've had people call me, hey, I see this house on Zillow. I really like it. Can I check it out? Then I will go look it up and I say, I'm sorry, that house closed 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's online. I see it. It's right here. It's right in front of me. And I'm sorry, it's expired, it canceled, or it's sold.
Yeah.
So if you want more accurate information, you got to go direct to the source, which is the multiple listing service. Zillow is simply a third-party syndicator where they get the data from the MLS, which means there's lag times and there's inaccuracies.
Yeah. And let's talk too about the listing agent discrepancy that you mentioned. You know, you had that firsthand experience before you were even in the business and became a broker to understand those nuances. But if you are really interested in a property and you are not working with an agent yet, well, it makes sense to absolutely call the listing agent. So on Zillow, they're not featuring who the agent is as clearly as they're featuring the agents who pay to be listed on the website. So you might not be getting information right away and you could miss that window of opportunity where maybe they are negotiating offers or having showings available because you got rerouted to some Zillow premier agent who's paying a lot of money to be listed on their website, but they're not actually the listing team or maybe doing enough business to be able to accommodate you.
Right. They might not even know the house that you're inquiring on.
Yeah.
They might not even know the zip code, the neighborhoods. Just because they pop up because they're paying money online to show up does not mean that they are going to be the best agent for you.
Yeah. Another downside to Zillow is, of course, the fact that your data is getting sold. I mean, the minute you put in your email address, your phone number, it's getting sold to quite a few other people. And they will be contacting you, reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, I saw you looked at 123 Main Street on Zillow. I'm your go to agent. How can I help you?" It's just a whole can of worms. So Zillow's not looking out for your best interest by protecting your information. So be careful if you are putting in your info on that platform, you are just going to get inundated with calls.
Right. If it's free, you're the product
Yeah,
that company
exactly.
is selling. So it seems free, easy, but then as soon as you log in, register, yes, they are taking that data and farming that out to agents and to lenders and to other people that are buying lists of leads. Whereas if you go through a local realtor website like our own, we're not selling that data. That's
No.
private, confidential information that is just here for us to help serve you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really important that if you are in the search for either a home that you want to buy or you want to sell your house, if you're looking at Zillow, well, you might miss the big picture because what you really need is a strategy. And that's something we just want to hit home right now is
Mhm.
that when it comes to real estate sales, investing, purchasing, you need to be with a strategic team to help get a good understanding of your whole entire picture, your desires, your goals, your dreams, your financial foundation in order to advise you properly. Zillow's not
Mhm.
going to do that. And if you are calling in on the platform, I don't know for certain how many of those agents who are featured on Zillow are getting enough business who will be able to help them come up with a
Mhm.
strategy. But I know for local people, if you are working with a reputable agent that has a proven track record, then your agent will be able to help create a comprehensive strategy to help you succeed. That's what it comes down to is we are motivated by our client's success, right? So if
Mhm.
we can partner together to achieve your goals, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So I've been on the consumer side where I've contacted the agent and thought, ooh, I just want to see this one house. Like, this is it. Like, if I see this house, this might be my perfect home, my first starter home, my investment property. And then now on the other side of it, as a listing agent, I get to see what that's like. And it's not in the consumer's best interest to have the listing agent or some random agent off of Zillow drop everything to drive over to the property and show a property to someone who hasn't taken the time to get to know you and know your strategy. So, Zillow, if you're going direct through the platform, trying to just schedule showings, there's a lot of risk at play because you're not taking into consideration safety and security. And we have to unpack that because that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you need to know both as a realtor myself, I need to know who my client is before I go out and show them property. So I'm going to meet with my prospective client either in person or virtually before I ever show them a property. And that's just to make sure they're not crazy, right? Well, then the next level is, well, as of the last year, National Association of Realtors has required us to have a very explicit agency relationship
Hmm.
before showing any property. So I also need this buyer to sign an agency form saying that they're going to work with me as their agent before I go out and show them. So those are some big ticket items that happen nowadays where it's not the world where you can just go and drop everything and
Yeah.
show. And if an agent is saying they will do that for you, they either are not informed about really big industry standards that you could lose your license over, or they're not taking safety and security seriously. And you should be concerned about that because you're going to want to work with someone who cares about their own individual safety.
Yeah. And in our association, there's actually a $2,500 fine if an agent is caught showing property to someone they don't have a signed agency agreement with.
Yeah.
So if you're reaching out on Zillow and you get connected with someone else, not the actual listing agent, but let's say Zillow sold the data, this person shows up, oh, hey, I can show that to you right now, and they didn't sign any prior agreement with you, that agent might be subject to a fine.
Right. And that's definitely not someone that you want to work with who isn't practicing best standards, because they might not be informed about how to write a contract for you when you want to go buy or sell. So it's
Exactly.
really important. This is the kind of a way to interview an agent too, is to get a good sense of how up to date are they on their contracts, where they'll be able to advise you.
Yeah. So we get calls like this quite frequently. There's urgency. Someone calls in off Zillow. They saw this listing. They love it. This is the one. All I need is to see it for 5 minutes, and then I will write an offer, or probably not. And most of the time it turns out to be a complete waste of time. They weren't actually qualified. They didn't have the financial power, or they didn't know what their budget was, and they raced into a situation. And so it wasn't in the buyer's best interests to race into a preview of a property without meeting someone first for that consultative approach that we would take in that situation.
Yeah. So, all of this to say, Zillow is an excellent tool when it comes to getting good ideas about the market, but by no means is it the end all be all. You want to partner with someone local who's boots on the ground, who has insight to even off market opportunities in neighborhoods that you really want to move into, and who will be your go to person and overall strategy team to be able to make your dreams a reality.
Yeah. So if you're shopping for homes right now in San Luis Obispo County, you're on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Trulia, some of these platforms just browsing, and you're ready to take that next step. You want to get off the apps and actually into relationships with your agent and going on tours to see properties in person, then reach out to us here at the Schwagerly team. We'd love to connect with you and sit down to get to know more about you, your goals, and then we'll help you create a strategy to get into your next property. Thanks so much, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.